Oh, I forgot laptops were in the same idea as phones. It was not only phones, it was phones and laptops. So are you all seated with your teams? Ooh. That font just changed for me. It's not legible. This one, and it's projecting. Let's make it up. As they're moving. Okay, so now we are moving to what we are calling learning harvesting. Are you ready? I can take it. Jackson. So we are going to do some learning harvesting. What has been your learnings in the past months? So there are questions projected. What have you learned about teamwork? What have you learned about leadership? And how does that inform how you're moving forward? Okay, so the questions are up there. On your table, there are some cards where you'll write. So Peter needs everything because he's a harvester. He likes collecting all the data because it's also very important, it's very informative for future programming. So on the yellow cards, you'll write all your answers there, what you're learning about your teamwork, what you're learning about leadership, how does it inform you going forward. And then from all those lessons here, please distill like the three that, wow, people really have to get this. So write those 3 on the card because that's what you want to hand over to the next group, next cohort. Tell them these are the big lessons that we've learned. Please learn these ones as you go forward. So the only 3 per table and they'll be written on the green card. Okay? So as usual, pick a scribe so that you write on your lessons and your handing over. We'll take 20 minutes for that. 30 minutes.
Tell Lydia she can move from table to table if she likes. Eddie is sending this thing to me and it's not coming, so I'll wait to find it because not. I know I saw it. I just can't find it there.
Think fast.
How are you, Joyce? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you painting?
Getting a little bit interested. The one thing I'm not interested in, but I think as I talk, feel a little bit. Yeah.
Some more. What's getting interesting, did you say? What did you say is getting interesting?
No, I was saying it's getting interesting as the day goes along. So I'm okay.
Oh, nice.
Except
Read through your list of lessons and then give the 3 so that we get Peter can have his basket of harvest. So what do you call harvest in Luganda? You speak okay, which is, I'm sorry.
Speak.
The Luo speaking. Ah. Your Luo speakers. So what is this called? Lep. Oh. That was a language. And then how do you write, how do you call harvest? Kayo. Harvesting. Catch. Ah, your fish are folk.
Something similar to that, yeah, catch.
KSC. And it said catch. Okay. Who shall we? We start with you. And please tell us what you call harvesting in your mother tongue. Yes, that's how we are going to start.
I stand.
Pick whichever mother tongue. So remember, our practice is to listen. So don't worry what you wrote. If you hear me, clap once, twice, 3 times. Okay, thank you. So I was saying, we are going to read through your yellow cards, what you've written as your harvest, what you've learned, and then you'll give us the 3. Kindly let us know what you call harvest in your mother tongue or in one of your country languages, whichever you choose. So we'll start with Amani.
This is fish.
Oh, what? This is fish.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really appropriate, even from your language. Okay, we'll start with fish.
Thank you. So in my language,
Oh, I was also saying, please practice the art of listening. Okay? So as a group is speaking, pay attention to them and just harvest with them what it is they're harvesting. Okay.
okay, thank you. So as Fitch and as the leadership team, what we have learned about teamwork is that the diverse perspectives and the skill sets that we have within the team is what always leads to better outcomes. As a single person, as you have one perspective, but if we bring together the rest of the team members, it gives us better outcomes in what we are doing. And then another one is openness and transparency in communication also brings harmony within the team. And then we talked about being accountable to the team members eases the friction within the team members because people don't have to wonder why you're doing this, what you've been doing, and so on, so that they're just guessing what is happening in the team. And then the last one about teamwork is working as a team requires continuous reflection. You need to continuously sit together on a round table and reflect about the processes and the outcomes. And then about leadership, we have learned that leadership requires connection to the purpose, but most importantly to the people that you are leading. And then we have also learned that transformation begins with a leader. So the team members model how the leader is behaving, just like your children model behavior from you as a parent. And then we have also learned that as a leader, we should balance empathetic leadership together with accountability. So as a leader, you should be accountable to the team members, but as well, as much as you're being empathetic, but expect accountability from the team members, because some of them can use it as a means to gauge you if you are too empathetic. And then the other one is leaders should empower and delegate tasks to the team members. And we picked a quote from PLO Lumumba that as a leader, you have not succeeded until your successor has succeeded. So that means it's very important to delegate, to train, and to mentor. And then as a leader, you need to be self-aware and conscious of your environment, because sometimes you walk in the room, the team members are seated, and then one by one they start disappearing, and you don't even realize it's the impact, it's as a result of your presence. That's why the team members are disappearing. So being self-aware and then conscious will help you to reflect on the behaviors of the team members once you're with them. And that's very helpful. And then the third question, how does that inform how we are going to move forward? We said we are going to model a culture of mentorship and providing opportunity for continuous learning within the team that we work with. And then going forward, we're also going to strengthen our self-care and well-being practices to build bondage and connection among the team members. Because if we continuously do self-care and well-being together, we usually ease the tension that is between or among the team members. Some of them fear their leaders. So, but if we play together, if we laugh together, then they'll be like, oh, this person also has a soft spot, and we can build on that. And then we will promote a culture of reflective practices among the team members to start innovation and growth. It's important to always sit and reflect and think about what happened in the past and how can we improve this so that tomorrow it's better than we did yesterday. So Candy will give us the 3 distilled one for the next cohort after us. Thank you.
So passing over to the next cohort, these are our distilled learnings. To build trust and clarity in the organization, leaders should practice open and transparent communication. 2, self-care and well-being practices builds more bondage and connection among team members and increase productivity. And thirdly, commit and invest your time wholly to this program and you will reap the most benefit.
Let's give them one sharp one for lightning. Nice, very good. Commit. I wish people would take that a bit more seriously at the beginning. We keep saying this. So these are the 3. They're all in yellow. So pick those ones first. Lovely. Who wants to go next? Okay. Who wants to go next? Oh, you didn't tell us what is harvesting.
So I come from northern Uganda, and in northern Uganda, my tribe is Lao. So our language is Leblanc. Our mother tongue is Leblanc. So harvest in Leblanc is catch, and harvesting is kayo.
Kayopon, harvesting learning. Kanyoponi.
Harvesting learning would now mean kayopon.
Yes. Oh, great. Who wants to go next? Nice. There.
Thanks. What we've learned about the teamwork is that first,
Actually, do you mind standing? Then people can see who is speaking. I noticed it's better when they see you.
thanks.
Gives you attitude.
Yes, what we have learned about teamwork is that doing it all alone is hazardous to oneself as well as to the whole team. So the collaborative efforts of each team member is essential in reaching the overall objective of the organization. The other thing is that teamwork helps in building the organizations through collaboration and knowledge sharing as well as good communication. So in one way or another, there are individuals within the teams that might be empowered by the knowledge sharing within the team. Lastly, on the teamwork is that teamwork strengthens individual skills, as I've said earlier. I'll hand over to Elizabeth to speak on the leadership part.
Okay. From the leadership, what we have learned is it's vital when leading to have a clear communication and practicing delegation, as this helps in reducing the burnout if a leader is doing it all alone. So in leadership, that's vital. But we have also learned that in leadership, it's on embracing vulnerability. It's not a crime to be vulnerable at times. We are leaders, we have feelings, and at sometimes we are at our lowest. And another thing on leadership, we have learned that working to become better on oneself is to improve the way you lead. Yes. So moving forward, we'll practice leading by example, engaging more, and communicating assertively. So practicing a two-way communication, understanding our colleagues, subordinates. Another thing that we are moving forward with is improving collaboration and skills sharing, as well as we are going to embrace team building, just to build that togetherness outside the working perspective. So those are on the leadership and moving forward. So Kagamba again will give you the 3 keys that we want to share.
Yes, and to the next cohort, here are the 3 things that we think are important for them. First is that doing it all alone is hazardous to oneself and the team. So every part and every individual within the team should see it important to share the skills that they have. The next thing is that it is important to embrace vulnerability. And lastly, skills sharing and collaboration. So, what was the last question? Yes, okay, harvesting. So harvest in Swahili is mavuno. As we are also coming from the lake zone, and where the majority are Sukuma, the Sukuma tribe, and in Sukuma, harvest is boravo.
Nice. Give them a 1 sharp 1. Nice. Thank you. Yes. Please write for us your in yellow what it means. Mamuno and the second one. All right. Next group. Good. Go ahead.
Thank you. So just to start, in terms of hello. So yes, just to start, harvesting in our country language Tanzania is mavuno. Yes, and to first address the first question on what have you learned about teamwork. So for us, 10-med team, what we have learned, and this goes with the saying that says that the team is as strong as its weakest link. And we have derived to say that it's more of complementing on each other's strength and weakness. How, as a team, are we going to be tapping and leveraging on each other's strengths and weakness so that we can promote that strong teamwork? But also in terms of teamwork, we have said for the teamwork, one thing that we have learned is about the peace and harmony. Once there is a good teamwork, there is peace and harmony. But also it comes with a best informed decision, that every decision that has been derived at the organization level is the decision that it is well grounded from the things that we share together, we discuss together as a team. But also, one thing we have learned about the teamwork is on meeting targets and achievement. Once we are working as a team, we are going to be meeting the targets, we are going to be achieving and all that. But last but not the least is having a shared voice and commitment. Once you're a team, you'll be speaking the same language, you'll be aligning in different things that you'll be communicating outside the organization. And the second question on what have you learned about leadership? This is interesting. So one thing that we have learned is that having a common understanding on organization's mission, vision, strategic objectives, and core values. I think as leaders, we are supposed to be having that alignment in the organization level where we all get to understand what our organization is, what is it working best, and things related to that. But also we have identified that leadership is more of, comes with trust. As leaders, we should learn to trust one another. We should learn to trust our teams, because it's only by trusting is where we're going to be achieving results. But also another thing we have learned is the being empathetic leaders. And we are reflecting on our Enneagram types here. We're all type 3, and one of the things that we're supposed to be working on is that being empathetic leader. And we say that one of the things that we have learned as leaders, we have to be empathetic, but also taking note on the accountability that the Fetch team have really spoken very good about it, that as much as we're supposed to be empathetic, let's not forget the aspect on accountability. But also another thing is on listening to understand and not listening to respond or to judge. It's something that we are really caring dearly to ourselves. But also, the last thing that we have also discussed about the leadership, it's on employing different leadership styles based on team dynamics. When we, and this came from the first immersion summit that we had, and we were all like, some sort of went through the Enneagram types, and Joyce really walked us through each of the Enneagram types, and as a team, we really sat and reflected on, because we are only a team of 4, but we left others at work. So it really reflected us to get to say that, and I think this team member is this Enneagram type. So how are we really going to be, us as leaders, how are we going to be dealing with them as part of their Enneagram types? So that is also some of the things that we have learned on the leadership. On the question number 3, I'd like to pass it to Helen.
Thank you, Nasra. So now how does that inform our moving forward? We thought of implementation of organization transformative action plan for organizational growth and sustainability. So for us, we think this will make what we have learned about the teamwork and what we have learned about the leadership to be generational. So whoever comes in and the new employee, or if any other leader thrown in, will find this transformative action plan in place and active and effective. So everything will be under control. Thank you.
What we'd like to share with the coming cohort, it's one, being consistent. What we mean here is being committed in the learning journey of the leadership process, to ensure that timely attending of the coaching lessons, to ensure that they are timely coming to the activity like this, ensure that when it's being planned, it's time have been allocated. Are you there timely? Are you listening? And all that. Number 2, what we'd like to share with the coming cohort, it's being open-minded. you know, having that power of self-realization that will enable you to understand yourself better, to be in a position to unlearn, learn, and relearn. Number 3, what we'd like to share is celebrate your gains. Even if they are pinpoints, but celebrate them. That will give you the ability even to celebrate the bigger gains. But if you don't celebrate those small gains that you have, you'll not appreciate the bigger gains that you accomplish.
Wow. Give them one big sharp one. Consistency. In Kiswahili, they say haba na haba hujaza. Little by little will fill. What is kibaba? A bowl. Oh, that's kibaba. Oh, we just used to say that in school. Did we know what it was? So that is what consistency is. And sometimes you minimize a 5-minute meditation or a 10-minute journaling, but those are the little things, that consistency that delivers. So thank you for sharing that. So I'm picking different words from different groups. So who wants to go next? Mm-hmm. The mic is, oh.
So this is Glami. What we have learned about teamwork, first, it starts with you. It starts with self, being authentic, being intentional, to be part of the team, but also understanding each other's personality, diversity, as we have different personalities. So understanding each other's allows us to speak the same language and serve the team, but also communicate effectively. Proper communications builds a team, because when we communicate properly, we send a clear message, but also in terms of communication, exploring the different channels, allowing and receiving feedback, it also builds a team. But also knowing our purpose will also build the team, because when knowing our purpose, we serve a common goal, because at the end of the day, our purpose is reaching the girls. So no matter what, as a team, we'll be able to serve the common goal. But also, what we've also learned about teamwork is being visible and recognizing your contributions to the team. So it's not just being part of the team, but how is the team recognizing your worth and your contribution? So question number 2, what have we learned about leadership? We said in leadership, change begins with me. Like change, if I want change as a leader in the entire team, it should begin with me to see the bigger change out there. But also, we learned about being empathetic and good listener to allow our welcoming room to the entire team. Once we are good listeners and empathetic, we create a room for people to come in, but also a room for us to receive and giving feedback. We also said leadership is all about connection. How do we connect, we bond and build relationship with the entire team? And we said also leadership, what we also learned about leadership, we are a reflection of who we lead. So the team that portray itself, it's how the leadership team, the Glami leadership, shapes them. But the last thing is, we also learned that emotional intelligence is one of the great skills the team needs, because for us, we had gone through a series of receiving feedback from the team of how the coaching, of how the 9-month learning journey, if they have seen any practices we have shared with them. So some of the feedback, it was all on emotional intelligence. So we said, yes, as leaders, there are some of the key traits the team want to see in you. So it's a learning journey, and we have received it. We are working on it. And question number 3, how does that inform how you're moving forward? So we said we're going to allow a supportive system to the team to allow connection and building relationships, but also creating a psychological safety to allow giving and receiving feedback and being open-minded and flexible. Thank you. Alpha, what are the 3 questions?
Can I sit down, please? Okay, thank you. So, what we wish to tell the next cohort is knowing your purpose will create a common goal, but also empathy creates connections, but then create a psychological safety for the team and leaders to give and receive feedback.
Lovely. Give them a round of applause. Nice. What's the one word you picked from them? What's the one word? It can be any. Were you listening?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. A lot of empathy there. Yes, that struck me. Good. Greek.
Okay, question 1. You said that.
Oh, we didn't give them a sharp one. Give them one sharp one. Nice. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we said number 1, everybody brings something to the table. So here we say that every team member's contribution is valued. So number 2, there is no one way of doing things. The more ideas you have in the team, the better. Number 3 is that everybody's business is my business. Yes, so you can't do something alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what Joyce was saying. The money person doesn't want to know what the other person is doing. Yeah.
Yes, on question 2, what we have learned about leadership. Leadership is not about experience that you have, but the ability of bringing out the best of the other team members. And then leadership influences organizational culture. Leadership is not easy, it takes commitment.
Thank you. On question 3, on how it informs us on moving forward, the first one was the leadership to create an environment for getting feedback from all the team members. The second one is incorporating team building activities and strengthening staff welfare. The last one is the leadership team to create safe spaces for having difficult conversations.
What we would want to share with the next cohort, there is no one way of doing things. The more ideas, the better. There is always the third way. Create an environment for getting genuine feedback. Leadership influences culture.
One big one. Thank you. Oh, even they can tell us harvesting. Oh, this she told us Mavuno. What is harvesting? Mavuno. But they gave us a local one.
So Tanzania here we are mixed up with different tribes. We have 120 plus, so we prefer using Swahili.
So let's go with it. Pick one. Pick one. But you can pick one later. Pick one like this. And the Kenyans pick one.
Can Sheng apply?
Sheng is perfect.
Yeah. You know Sheng ni mingi. So from where we come from, collectively, and the Sheng is?
Together. Kugeza. Kikuyu.
So pick a tribe. So last but not least, write for me on a yellow card.
So it looks like we all were thinking similarly. So for teamwork, similar to others, we highlighted the importance of having a shared vision and even articulating a shared vision together, listening keenly to each other's views and being detached from your own opinions, involving others in decision making so that it also enhances ownership for the work, building friendships and understanding each other at a personal level to be able to anticipate needs and improve communication.
For leadership, we talked about the fact that all members of the organization should feel part of the decision making, and that they should all own the decisions as well. Then we were reflecting on some of the imagery that we discussed with our coach. And for our case, we had two images, the one that we currently have and the one that we're working towards. So we had the regenerative gardener, which is the one we are working towards, which we thought about the importance of active listening, of being regularly engaged and attentive to needs. But then we also thought of the strengths of our current form, or previous, I should say, by now, which was that of the jazz musician. And we really appreciate to this day the flexibility and adaptability of the jazz musician. We also feel that leaders have to have clarity about purpose, that we need to believe. I think we gave the example of the mother, that one of the qualities of a mother is always believing in the capacity of the children. So having that belief in your colleagues is very important because it also allows you to comfortably delegate responsibilities. And then that humility and detachment are also important part of making decisions collectively. And lastly, about the importance of leveraging the strengths of our team members. So lastly, in terms of moving forward, we talked about the importance of really returning to these insights regularly. This concept of the toolbox, like thinking about all of these ideas, one of the strengths really of this entire experience has been the fact that we put the conversation about leadership at the forefront of our minds instead of just having it as something that we do and we think that we are being thoughtful about the principles of leadership. Now we want to make sure that we're returning regularly to have that conversation. So we intend to do so within our spaces, dedicating time as a team to continue these conversations, to also document. We had this question of how do we ensure that the changes that we've undergone persist even if the members of the team are changing. So the idea was that we should also be documenting some of the characteristics and maybe the vision of leadership that we have so that others can continue to reflect and study those as they move forward. So those were some of the points that we had in our conversation. I think we'll have the 3 highlights and then the Ateso version of.
Thank you. So about teamwork requires detachment from one's own views, knowing team members on a personal level, building a shared vision, leveraging on strength, actively listening to each other, and building friendships. And then about leadership, strong leadership requires humility, flexibility, and commitment to listening to and attentively addressing the needs of others. And then another one is, I think those are the three.
Nice, nice. It's coming up.
No. Uganda has more than 52 languages, but on the table here, the common language is Ateso. And harvesting in Ateso is called Isaac.
Isaac.
Yes.
Nice. Very good. What was the one word that came out from them? What was the common, which one do you feel has stuck for you? Friendship. Yeah, I coached an organization and they were looking at me and why should we be friends in the organization? We're here to work and go. So that was quite interesting when you said friendship. Yeah, not an easy one. Yeah. And that one of letting go of my opinion so that I can pick others. Wow. Tough ones. So give them a big one. And what was the... Isaac. And yeah, Isaac is to harvest. Has everybody gone? Yes? So we have enough for the basket. That's a very rich... We're going to put them there so that we remember. It's a very rich harvest, this one. I think we used to have granaries. You harvest, put in the granary. Remember? Yes, so that you come collecting as you need food from the granary. Yes. Oh, you did? Thank you.
So this is higher ethnic language. Kugesha means harvests. Amagesha means the collected harvest. Mavuno in Swahili.
Kugesha.
Yes.
Which language is that?
Higher.
Higher. Nice. So one day we'll all speak one language. Great. So those harvests, as I said, we'll put them here for continuous growth and keep harvesting your lessons every so often. It's amazing when you sit and say, what am I harvesting this season? So, can I hand over to you?
Well, I think you need more than a clap. I think you have learned a lot about each other and how we are going to move this ship. If it is going to move, as you are saying, how do we move it to the next stage? But given that this is a journey that you don't walk alone, others have to walk with you to get to the destination. If we could do it alone, we wouldn't need even to be meeting and talking here about what we have learned the last 9 months, really, and then what is it that we are passing on to the new team that is coming. The basket is there. This will sit here for the next 3 days in case you change your mind about what you want to tell cohort 4. But before we get there, this journey from last year to this year, there are some people who are invisible, but they are very visible because if they are not here, we wouldn't be doing what we are doing. So, it is my pleasure and privilege to invite Dr. Sarah